Hey friends, Rational Basis Tier 15-year challenge part 5. This is, by the way, being recorded on May 5th, Cinco de Mayo 2021. So happy Cinco de Mayo. We are on day 4476, and this takes place, of course, right at the end of part 4. I had said after we got back and then sort of encountered that moose that I'd take a couple days off. I'm going to not do that. We're a little dinged up. I have some of the meat that I acquired. We're going to haul all of that up top with us. And we're going to move over to the gold mine. Gathering some things as we go. Grab some water. Oh, that's going to be a problem. Then we're going to go over to the other side of the gold mine. And I'm going to gather up the items. And then largely, it's going to be time for me, let's head out, to dig in and work on some of the grindier, repetitive aspects that I tend to do behind the scenes. I think this works out. Part 5, normally there's the accumulation. Oh, that's too bad. This would be a great time to cook those wolf steaks. Maybe when we get up top. This is about the point where I start to really, really dig in and get days on the clock. I do incorporate passing time into my playthroughs. I spent the first 5 years not passing any time, and now I pass a fair bit more. Some people don't think that is the right way to do it, and that is certainly, a matter of taste, and so be it. I like to do it. Those days are just as valid as any other. So after part 5 is over, in real time here, while this is being recorded and uploaded in May 2021 period, we are going to take a little time off, and then I'll do some of the day-to-day stuff, get a few days on the board, and we'll do some other things and then come back to it. This also really works out well for me. The challenge, I think, is as much about my journey as it is the files. I think it is. Maybe it's really just about the file, but I think it's about my journey through this too. And I'm actually getting to the point. I talk about having the discipline to know when you need a little bit of a break. And I have said several times that the number one killer of long files in my experience is just fatigue, boredom, maybe a little too much fatalism, this idea that, well, we've made it this far, we're going to live forever. And then you get a little careless. It doesn't mean you're a bad player. It just means you are tired and you need to take a break. And I think we could stand to do that ourselves. Also, the pandemic, I feel like everything that might wear you out at a given point, if it's 5 weeks, well, with pandemic fatigue having that modifier effect, it's for 3 or 4 weeks. So this is good for everyone. And it gives me an opportunity to practice what I so often preach. By the way, I had a question from Dorian. Dorian would like to know what would I do today with a fresh file if I were starting this challenge today, with the goal of making this same long file pursuit. The second part of that question is, what would a bassist prioritize in the first 50 days? So let me take that in reverse order. If I were to pursue this with a long file, the only difference between how I treat this file and most files is what resources I expend. I would use probably comparatively fewer matches than I do for most. In an ad hoc interloper, ad hoc stalker file, I feel more comfortable. Not totally comfortable, but more comfortable with expending matches and other resources. In a long file, I never would. Also, let's take a moment to acknowledge the ways in which this game has changed, whether you love it or hate it, over the past, almost 4 years. The way that we fight wolves is much different now. Rather than always carrying little hunks of meat and then baiting wolves, we try to never carry any meat. Rose hips that we used to rely on to cure sprains now only cure pain. the distress pistol shells deteriorate and you can't refresh those. I have, there's a little trepidation in counting that along with the others because maybe that was always a bug. I didn't think of it that way. I didn't realize, you never just, sometimes you just don't know until later. And there's a way to let us know that is helpful, gainful, and instructive. But ultimately, they just changed it, which, so be it. That's an answer, too. There weren't crampons. I would probably go and get crampons in the technical backpack earlier. Even though, in some ways, I feel like maybe having the crampons, or, well, the technical backpack for sure, too early. It can enable a little bit of hoarding. Like, learning what you can drop is super useful. Learning what you can stock and leave behind is super useful. So if I were just starting out today, keeping in mind that this was my second Interloper file ever, maybe I'd wait on the technical backpack. But definitely not the crampons. I don't know how the hell you pull that off. Just get one and not the other. Go all that way and just say, I'll leave it behind for pedagogy's sake. Yeah, probably not. If moving on to like overall considerations, I actually kept a second set of gear. Like I had a couple winter coats, and I still have the backup hats because I don't do the bunny hats. But I had a second set of clothing that I was routinely repairing, and it was the mariner's coat, I think, on top of like backup mittens or maybe gloves. I don't know about gloves, but there were definitely some backup handwear, some wool sweatshirt gear, other backup items that really, in the end, just had to get torn up because they were consuming cloth. And if you want to just sit and think about, for 10 years I kept these items repaired, and then I eventually decided to tear them up because I didn't have the cloth to keep them repaired anymore. What a grand waste of cloth that was to repair them over 10 years. I probably wouldn't do that in hindsight. And of course, now knowing the game a little better, I wouldn't have had to. Because there is really no way that I'm going to lose two wolf coats or a wolf and bear coat and then have to deal with a situation where some wildlife is going to injure, damage my shirts or my sweaters. I would have started beachcombing a little earlier. Beachcombing is something I did under duress. In fact, I was something like 7 years in before I really embraced the beachcombing. Mostly because I just did not have any choice. And cloth can be a real chore to come by. I mean, like a real chore. Every time I beachcomb, every once in a while I'll get like two. Or I'll get a piece of cloth out there in DP. I like DP the best for beachcombing just because it's more contained and easier to work in a cycle. It's not necessarily the best place. I think Bleak Inlet can also be a pretty useful place to beachcomb, even though it seems like the area, the radius for beachcombing is quite small.
Never felt so cold in my life.
Put that off until very, very late, at the point where I had I'm trying to focus, and each time, everybody's gotten, this is an aside, but everybody's gotten in my head about being more careful when I sprint across these bridges, even though I'm just staring directly ahead and making sure I'm staying in the center. Now they're messing with my mind, and I'm thinking, oh, maybe I should be more careful. And that's probably going to get me killed, and then you'd feel bad. So I'm going to just keep sprinting. How about that? So cloth is pretty rare, and when beachcombing, or has been for me. in a pinch. I was also like down to 3 arrows when I finally started beachcombing, and I was desperate for birch. So desperate. Then they introduced lost and found boxes. You only get when they've changed something to the game. So Monkey, by the way, was right. This reclaimed wood does respawn. I'd love to know how often it respawns. Probably not worth making a special detour, but on your way to like going and grabbing the coal from this little mine over here, there's no reason why not. And also the gold mine. Let's go inside, warm up. Maybe we'll want to get some sleep. You don't get the, again, returning to the thing about the birch. You don't, or the lost and found boxes. You don't get the lost and found boxes unless they have altered something. So when they finally instituted those lost and found boxes, and then again at the beginning of my 11-year run, 12-year run, I found something like 25 arrows, something like that, in varying degrees of repair, right? And some of them were on the verge of breaking, some were not. But it was just all the arrows from all the wolves that I'd killed and had run off over time. I had lost all of those arrows. I was not a great shot. And, I mean, I was good enough, I guess. 80-something%. Pretty consistent. But still, I lost a lot of arrows. Wasn't doing all the headshots I could. And that's saying something because we were baiting wolves and then they go running off. So headshots are pretty easy to come by in that situation. Nonetheless, I would beachcomb for more birch. Not right away. There's actually a lot more birch now than there was then. We've picked up, how many now? 6 just here. And I'm going to be sitting pretty for arrows for a good long time. But I would definitely incorporate that. And I think I've been talking for like 15 minutes about all the things I would do differently. So hopefully, Dorian, that is at least a partial response to your question. There's probably a fair bit more. What would I focus on, actually? I think I'd focus on getting cooking 5 as fast as possible. That's really important. And, you know, getting, instead of like ditching the wolf, I'd probably get the wolf coats as fast as possible. And while I worked on my bearskin bedroll and so on. So I think that's all I can think of right now, and I appreciate the question. And if you happen to have a question like that, please let me know. I'd be happy to talk about it on here. It is actually a lot of fun to think about what you do differently. Because there is only one long file, right? There's a number of files that I play, and then there's this file. And I talk about it the day when this file ends, when it gets wrecked. My sincerest hope, my friends, is that when I lose this file, I'll have to actually come back here and harvest the items inside. I want to get right to the gold mine, or as close as we can get before the blizzard starts. It is fun to think about all the things that you could do differently. A lot of fun, in fact. And my sincerest hope is that when I lose this file, it happens on like live stream, so everybody can be there. And so my reaction to it can be known in the moment and tested. And then in that moment, I take like a deep breath and I say, wow. And it'd probably take me a couple weeks to kind of acclimate to that. But then maybe not. Maybe I would say, all right, well, It was a good run. Shame it's over. Let's start the next one. That would be like my finest hour. That would be amazing. Will it happen? We will find out sooner or later, one way or the other. I'm wondering about this bear. It's been, I'm not sure how many days since we were last here. I've been told that this bear can creep up on you in fewer days than maybe we're used to with bears, the 50 days.
Damn.
But does that mean if you leave the region or if you leave this area? We're also getting quite heavy. I'll have to drop. We're going to run heavy all the way over to the climb down to the gold mine, ideally at full rest. And I'll have to drop a number of items there and then pick them up on my way back down with the resources we grabbed from the other side. Right, so I do need to grab this. Oh, it's about to get away. It's about to go. Yep, there she goes. Alright, well, I'm just going to sit right here. Let him get his sprint. Should have eaten first. Only reason you drink before eating is if you were about to get dehydrated. Let's see. Alright. You're still protected. Gonna give his sprint another second. Check hypothermia risk. Hypothermia risk, no problem. See how long it gives me this shelter. Yeah, knew that was coming. Alright, I think since I'm taking this stuff, I'm going to try to stick around and replenish it with the wolf steaks. Or at least some of it. I'm not sure how much food I have here, but this is a decent midway point. Honestly, what I should do, and what I probably will do over the next 30 days or however long, whatever time frame occurs between the end of this and then the next time we pick it up, is I'll probably distribute fish around the area, as many areas as I can. But I would love to cook that food up right here and leave a little bit. Okay, yeah, and I did mention last time that because of the file snafu, I never harvested the wolf this time. One of the differences, given the issue we had with the save file maybe 2 weeks ago. So I'll go ahead and do that. I'm gonna wander around this cave a little bit and see if there's any coal, and then I'm going to cook, and then we'll pick up on our journey to the gold mine. It's the next day, 4478. Food is cooked. We got the gut sitting here, and also that pelt. Let's get out of here. By the by, Dorian, thank you for that question from earlier. If that was a confused ramble of an answer, please feel free to let me know. So, I did boil up a fair bit of water here, and we'll leave that food. If that was a lot of a ramble, please let me know so I can maybe try to formulate a more cogent response. I'm not sure you'll get better with me trying to move this specific file around the map and also narrating what's happening, but I hope it at least halfway got the job done. I really do appreciate those kinds of questions, so thank you. So we're going to continue on our way to the gold mine. I'll have to drop some items just to get down that rope. I'm not going to goat. We went and got that rope, why not? Also, I did a video on that stem. I don't know if that stem is in this file. It was in this file that I went and checked it in. I actually started another file and went and looked. I actually looked where I thought Brian was talking about, and it turned out to not be there. And so I just meandered around a bit and lucked into that stem. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, don't know that that's where he had in mind either. Oh boy, so I'm going to need to harvest this too. Let's do all of this at once. That's going to require some coal. Or something. Negative 14. Yeah, I'm not sure. We're close, though. Maybe just a reclaimed wood? Yeah, maybe. Alright, so yes, I'm going to go ahead and harvest this. I'm sorry about that. Another pause already. And also, he can't feel his hands, and he's going to get tired. But these are important, and we're here, so why not do it? How often am I going to have this great weather? Oh, look at this. I didn't even realize this. What a perfect little troll. Oh, it's too late. It's, well, it's too late. It's too late, it's too late. What I'll do, though, is leave those sticks here. They put it right there, so it's a pain in the butt to get to. But you could just, like, put it right up here and then crouch.
Too cold to think.
I kind of dig that. So those sticks will be here for next time. That will prevent me from having to stop again. Yeah, close but no cigar. So I'm going to do this my way. Because if I don't, then I'll fall. That right there could be a deal breaker. The weird collision detection. Now, I don't actually know what happens if you just walk in a straight line as the bridge is shifting. How much you personally have to adjust in light of that. Maybe you could just ignore that and keep going. Maybe it'll bump you. Maybe it'll throw you off the side. I'm actually just going to keep doing what I'm doing. Seems to be working out. So I believe it was Monkey who asked if these little strange corners were like weird ley lines, like they were just randomly warming you up. And I haven't seen those since, in those weird locations. There's definitely just a quirky cave up ahead where you warm up. But when we tried this on day one, as I recall, the caves weren't warming us up. And I don't mean in that way that, like, when you have a new file and no clothing in the back of a cave, you're still a little bit cold. We were, like, really cold, like negative 20 or something, and not during a blizzard. It was conspicuous. And I haven't monitored the patches to see if maybe that was something they specifically addressed. I think we can use just deductive reasoning and say either that was the bug or this is the bug, but either way, those caves are warm for now. We'll monitor and report back. Sound good? Oh, I'd love to get some of this scrub brush. But I don't want to ding my hatchet. I also need to save some energy. Just check my hypothermia. Pity about that deer. I would have been more tired. But it was a good free fire opportunity, and those are hard to come by over there, kind of far away from a cave. But if I manage to get, so this one's squicking me out a little. If I manage to get good weather over at that cave where we left some food, then maybe, just maybe, I can get a torch and run over there. That would be good. All right. We are closing in. Oh, you know what? There is a cave up here. So wearing out before the rope would not have been an issue. This is the... yeah, the Vista. I don't even have coal. I'm not so sure I would have done it even if I did. Welcome to the Wolf of Jaw. The other side, there's this ledge. And it seems like it should drop down and take you somewhere, but I don't know if they had that in mind, but whenever I go over there, I've taken a couple of other files just to test out some of the contours over time. We just get stuck. So I would never take this file over there. But I could have. I could have easily. You can go down with maybe some injury, but you can and still survive. Kind of a trolly thing to put in here. I'm not sure if that was the intent, but it is the outcome. Alright, so it should be right up here, yes? Right before the cave. What is over here? I've only been up here like 3 times. And until I've been up here like 10, 15 times, it'll all feel still kind of new. Which is fun. Here's our warmish cave. Over there, that is. Oh, hey. So this is the... I think this... Is this the spot where the bear thing...
I think I can use this.
Where the bear coat could spawn? I think that's it. Not gonna happen for me. It wasn't inevitable. There could have been a ruined bear coat there, and I could have gotten a free bear pelt. That would have been lovely. So, you can see that I've already dropped some stuff here. I'll drop another little bit of water. And so what I'm thinking, this place is kind of deadly. In the wrong weather, it could be. But I actually don't have anything to drop. I was thinking about it. Can't do it. What is this nook? Am I losing it? No. I mean, could be. Wow. Have I not been here? Oh, I've been here. Wait, did I just really? Sometimes, folks. Sometimes. I actually just turned around and got confused. It's just like it's all the same cave. It's all the same cave. There's just this rock wall. I thought maybe it was 2 separate paths. You're a dull boy, Jimmy.
Place to escape this cold.
I know. Okay, let's run up. I feel like am I going the wrong way again? Well, there's a clue. Hot damn. And is there... Ooh, yeah. That's amazing. So maybe it is a static spawn. Can't believe I did that. Went the wrong way. Ah, goodness. It's fun to be new at something. Now, that'll only help me once, like the fact that these are now gone. That won't help me later. And there's a bunch of food over here. Go ahead and snatch one of those. And I have to trade. Sorry, Khajiit. I don't have coin, but have a water. Trading a whole food for one water is not a very good trade for you, Khajiit. Alright, I think we may get a blizzard. It's also getting really late. Gear is in iffy condition. There's actually no reason to stick around here. We're right at the precipice. We're right at the gold mine. So let's just go ahead and go. It's right up here. Pardon my slow walking. You can tell there's still the saplings and what have you to harvest. Having a look here to see if there's maybe any hollowed out trees. Also, that second lantern is going to weigh me down. So all that stuff's getting dropped. Along with these. Okay. Alright. So this stuff is actually going to go over to the fishing area. So we don't have to worry about that here. We'll drop a couple of these. I may need one to start a fire. What else could I drop? I could drop this right here. And that's about all I really want to drop. I guess we're going to have to keep going. We'll drop that. And this. Anything else? Yeah, we'll drop a liter of water. Oh boy. Let's definitely not do that. There we go. Alright, folks, let's get out of here. We're going to head down. I would like to see if there's anything on these ledges. I believe that I went down here and got some wood off of this ledge. But as long as we still have energy, we can look. It's fine.
Cold is making my head feel thick.
Alright, back we go. We're going to be climbing down this a time or two. We're going to go through the gold mine. I'm actually going to go into the gold mine, then collect the coal, drop it in the back, along with a number of other items. Then in the morning, we're going to drop down, pick up items off that one rope, climb back around, come back down, and then we'll see how we're doing for time. My guess is that may be it for this part. I'm not expecting to fight any wolves. This, as promised, is going to be one of those more maintenance-style episodes. But don't you worry, in a couple episodes, we'll be going through that one trench that I've been freaking out about that's over there near Shattered Cove. Oh boy. Not looking forward to that. Alright, let's get in here. I am going to, during some of these days where I'm getting more days on the map, I am going to just meander around different spots and see if there's stuff that I've missed. Be like that. I mean, at the end of the day, it didn't matter, but how do you know? I'll take anything. I'll take that single rose hip. Worst loot in the game, give it to me. If you find a single rose hip that you don't want, send it over to your buddy bassist. And by the way, I meant to ask this earlier. What's everybody's favorite region? In we go. My favorite region is Forlorn Mooskeg, and I think it's because, well, you know, you punish yourself into liking it, is why. Originally, it was my least favorite for all the reasons that Forlorn Moose Keg would be. But then I came to really enjoy it, wrap my head around the weak ice, and it honestly just became a lot of fun, and the unique challenges they started to strike my fancy. I cannot say the same of DP.
Something's gotta go.
I want to like Desolation Point. Oh, sorry about that. I want to like Desolation Point, but it's cramped. There's only so many places to sleep. Even fewer without outdoor locations without a fire. Your options are pretty much the cave if you kill the bear, the stone church if you don't. And that stone church is not warm. Also, I can't independently confirm that a wolf can't get into the stone church. I'm not going to risk my file on it. Maybe I'll have to create another file to find out. But there's no amount of data trials where I'll actually say, okay, that does it for me. I'm going to sleep in this outdoorsy location where it will get cold without a fire. So even the best possible outcome doesn't do anything for me. Please yourselves. PV is my favorite location to start. It's also my favorite location to leave. So I'd love to hear, like, what are your favorite regions? What are your favorite regions to start in? They don't have to be the same. What's your favorite region to leave? And maybe your favorite region is different from your favorite place to base in. Maybe you could let me know all of those. Tell me all about your favorite regions. I want to know. I'm so fascinated by that. There's actually plenty of food here. All right, folks. So let's drop a bunch of items. A lot of organizing is going to have to take place. It does not have to take place right now. Oh, boy. See, this is why you don't rush. Also, I mean, I wasn't wearing it, so it did not have the little arrow. We're going to hold on to the food for now. Let's put some of these items in. So that's not going to happen. Okay. We'll put as many in as we can. Let's take that out. I just jammed everything in. No rhyme or reason to it. As is, I guess, becoming clear. Now, somebody asked me if I was pretty much out of stuff, and I have so much stuff. There's a ton of items waiting back at Mystery Lake and the Carter Hydro Dam. An incredible amount of stuff. I should not... Oh, I just picked those up. I was like, I shouldn't have brought those down. Well, you didn't, to be fair. Also, this is way too many stocks, but most of these I brought to drop. That's okay. And these will eat. We're not going to actually get to keep them here, but we have meat here, so we're okay. We'll actually want to drop these tomorrow, if possible. That is... I only actually had that so I could cut up the bedroll. Drop this. Anything else? That. This isn't doing nothing for my fuel. Oh, and I also boiled all the coffee. From 0 to 50. Not bad. Alright, let's drop that too. I guess. I'm gonna be super worried. Actually, we'll come back for these. And we won't be encounter. I don't want to drop that. We'll drop these. And also this. Alright, so I don't actually recall how much stuff we're going to be picking up. So this may have been overkill, but it will be sufficient. That's what matters. Let's eat a hearty dinner. We will not sleep all the way through the night, but we will sleep. I also need to think about cabin fever. I spent a couple nights at that cave after we killed those wolves, but who knows where my timer's at right now. Energy needs to be at a maximum. Watch us get a blizzard. You know it's coming. I know it's coming. If it has to happen, ideally it'll happen before we leave. Rather than midway through, as per usual. So we'll probably just get a little more than an hour of sleep. Great. There may be coal back there. I'm not 100% sure. Does any naturally respawn there? Possibly. It may not yet be dawn. Oh boy. Watch out for that one. It's a doozy. And I can't sprint, so I'm losing light or fuel. I cannot sprint. I will tire myself out a little, and a little is too much. Just looking for that light. Tunnel's a bit longer than I recall. A lot longer than I recall. Huh. Alright. Let's make sure I have the crampons equipped. Nope. Sorry about that, head wrap. Have you noticed that these load screens, the Ash Canyon load screens, seem to take longer? Oh boy. Oh, it's gonna blizzard. Oof. That, don't do that without crampons or crouching. Ah, heck. Alright, let's just try to get up and out. If I hadn't have not brought the bedroll, I probably would have turned around and went right back into the cave. But nope. Can't do that. So much stuff. I'm not even going to look at our weight. We should be good by a lot. Let's go. Yep, here it comes. Look at that. Ah, unbelievable. Totally predictable. It's like the game checked to see if I had my bedroll and it said, he brought that on himself. And it's not wrong. The game is not wrong. I did. Own it completely. Alright, well, at least we're not too far away. We're farther away than I would like. Rain's bad. I think it's up here, right? Not off the cliff. Yeah, good. Hard to track in a blizzard. Let's get out of here. What a mess. If it ain't a mess, it'll do till the mess gets here, yeah? My poor Took did nothing to deserve this. Ay, caramba. How about that? Thank you, stump. Would that be a stump or a broken tree? Either way, thank you. A dead broken tree. It's noticing that I stood up. Good for you, game. Don't give me any breaks. Damn. Let's check my my gear. Everything's just frickin' awful. Sounds good. It's these I'm most worried about. I have lots of leather. Damn. Okay. Well, we managed to get our stuff using the worst possible timing imaginable. But I guess it all worked out. We're going to be here for 300 more days. Something like that. So this will hopefully pay off. Let's run through. You know, I should have tried to grab that. I should have grabbed that other lantern. It has fuel, and I don't have that much fuel to deal with. But he has a lot of organizing to do. Dude, what am I doing? Lots and lots of organizing. So much organizing. And I'm going to try to limit how much fuel I use in the process. Then I'm going to go path around, do some more fishing, explore the contours of these different areas. Probably kill a bear. And anything that happens between now and when we pick things back up formally, if there's anything interesting that occurs, we'll do a recap. If there's not, then we will pick it up with just part 6. So we're on day 4479. 10 million calories. Yeah, that's cool. And we have... Oh, just the 40 days. Why did I think we had so many more days than I did? Dang, I really... 320 days. So I need to really get the ball rolling. And I'll get it on that. And I'll... this is going to be a shorter episode, but I'll see you all around the bend for part 6 coming up soon. And we'll also do some other things and Green Hell as promised. If there's something else you next week specifically, if anybody wants me to play something else next week, please do let me know. And I'll see you all later. Cheers.